The horns of battle.
Every time. Fine, we'll have to do this later. The Cadence is attacking. Heroes, jump in!
Colm, I know that both you and I have previously played XCOM and have quite liked it, or at least I quite liked it. I don't know 100% if you liked it. I'm sure you did, though.
I very much liked it, yeah.
Well, this is great, because we're here today to talk about Massive Chalice, which, according to you, is quite similar to XCOM.
It's very similar, Stubbsy. I would even go so far as to say it's basically XCOM, with a few bells and whistles on top of it, and a little bit more of a kind of a cartoony-ish vibe off it. Like, I mean, it's a Double Fine game, and are you a fan of Double Fine, Stubbsy?
I am. Ever since Brutal Legend, which was awesome
it's
and
a fucking
severely
terrible game.
It was amazing.
That's a shit game. I'm sorry. Brutal Legend is horrible.
No, Brutal Legend, amazing. Like, just because it's so metal, and that's cool.
It's a fucking bad game. Anyway, go on. So you're a fan of Double Fine, right? Well, as am I. Over the years, it was kind of when they started making smaller games, and the I suppose the volume of their games became a lot bigger when they were kind of releasing more, I suppose, because of them being smaller. I kind of gravitated a lot towards what they were doing, and I really enjoy their, I don't know, just their humor and kind of quirkiness, stuff like that. Now, Massive Chalice is, it's effectively XCOM, just with that sort of Double Fine personality, I suppose. And this was a Kickstarter game, and it wasn't ages ago, I don't think, that it was a Kickstarter. Like, I mean, in comparison to what's it called, Broken Age.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, like it was actually a Kickstarter back in when was this? Fuck it, I thought I'd be able to do that fairly without being noticed, and I can't find it. I don't know, when was the... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Not that long ago, as far as I know. Maybe a year or something. Anyway, it's been on early access on Steam since November of last year. And it's... Yeah, so what I've played and what you're seeing right now is... I'm going to hazard a guess that it's basically the finished version, because this is coming to Games with Gold. But actually, to be honest, by the time you're watching this, you can probably go on your Xbox and download Massive Chalice. So the comparison to XCOM. Now, if you've played XCOM, you know it's your basic kind of strategy game where you have 5 or 6 little men and women, your kind of squad of army people, and you have an area that they can move around, and if you move within that area, then you have a chance to take a shot. But then if you want to move a little bit further, then the kind of area, there's like dotted kind of boundary around it that you can move to, and then you take your 2 goes, so you won't get a chance to take a shot. Massive Chalice does that. It gives you the breakdown of if you're pointing your gun or your projectile at an enemy, stuff like that. It'll tell you the chance of them being damaged, them taking damage. I mean, it does all that. So for people who really enjoy XCOM, it has all these things, and it's not like, I don't think it's as complex as XCOM in terms of the areas that you kind of battle on, as far as I've come across in my limited time with the game. They haven't been, so I don't think they're quite as complex. They don't have, like in XCOM, you had, say, different levels of a particular map. So you would kind of have to, I suppose, gauge for verticality, stuff like that. Massive Chalice appears to be a lot kind of flatter, stuff like that. But at the same time, really, really good. And there's one thing that it does do that XCOM doesn't do, and that's you can have babies, Mike Stubbsy. Finally, you can live out your dream of being a father, sort of. Because how it works is there's basically a 300-year war with your enemies, who are known as the Cadence, right? And it's all kind of quite regal and royal and stuff like that, because at the start you must name a regent and their partner, and then once you name that, they are kind of taken out of battle. You can't actually bring them into the battlefield for when you're fighting the Cadence. And they have babies, and it kind of like, so I suppose where you have all of the person's stats and stuff like that, there you also have kind of personality traits to them as well. It'll tell you if they're it'll tell you if they like a few drinks at the weekend, or it'll tell you if they're stupid or clever, or just all kind of these things. And these things have to be taken into account when you put two people together that you want to have to make babies, because whatever traits Mammy and Daddy have, they'll be passed on, some of them, not all of them, onto their sons and daughters, which will then hopefully become warriors for you, which I think is a really cool kind of inclusion into the game, because like with XCOM, you had people lamenting the loss of their soldiers, as I did, because normally it was like it became a thing that people would name them after your family, your friends, your whatnot, and people close to you. And then it's like, oh no, Stubbsy died. Oh shit, this is because it just gave an extra layer to XCOM. And in this, you have kind of a family connection in that, you know, so and so, like they all have like fucked up kind of Game of Thrones names, and it's like, oh, whatever, Florgish Bard, oh, he's dead. Oh no. Oh no, how is his brother Murgish Flagabloid and his sister Flagabear? How are they going to react? Oh, this is so sad. And it's, I don't know, I think it's just a nice touch that you have that kind of family connection, and you can kind of I don't know, it kind of gives you that I suppose that want to see your players kind of live through this war, because if they don't die in battle, they will die of natural causes because of the fact that it runs for 300 years. So, I mean, I don't want to be reductive in saying that it's very like XCOM, because it's not a bad thing. XCOM was what was the subtitle? XCOM
Enemy Unknown, I think.
Wasn't it? Yeah. It was fucking, I mean, it was a brilliant game. And this is pretty much, yeah, it's very like it, just with a few, yeah, like as I said, gameplay might not be as complex, but it has a few kind of extra additions kind of here and there.
So this is going to Games with Gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like next week, or out now, presumably.
Yeah, probably by the time the viewers watching this, yeah.
And is that Xbox One only, or is it 360 as well?
I believe it's Xbox One only. Yeah, it is, because the Xbox 360 Games with Gold games are Thief and Just Cause, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, because this is, as I said, a Kickstarter game. And I mean, yeah, it's been on early access on Steam for a while, so I suppose the people who backed it, and I suppose backed it at a certain tier, could have been playing it for this length of time, whatnot. The fact that it's coming with to Games with Gold, if I was a backer, I'm not sure if I'd be overly pleased with that.
See, I have a slightly different opinion, because whenever I've backed something on Kickstarter, which admittedly isn't a lot, but I've backed a few things, I've backed it so that the game gets made, not so that I get the game. So, like, presumably this wouldn't have been made if it didn't get backed on Kickstarter. And so, for one example, is Goddess. I backed Goddess. Yes, you can all laugh at me. But I've never played Goddess. I think I booted it up for like 5 minutes. And that's because I don't really like the type of games that Goddess is. But I just wanted Molyneux to have something to do and not leave the industry because he's so cool. So I was just like, yeah, I'll chuck you 10 quid so that you can go make a game. I don't care if I play it or not, or if I enjoy it. I just want you to be able to make a game.
But to play devil's advocate, you say, yeah, you haven't backed an awful lot of things on Kickstarter, but you backed some things. Is the tier that you back generally the one to get the game?
It depends how much that tier is. Like, if that tier is like 10 quid and I've got 10 quid spare, then yeah. But if, like, I know there was one, I can't remember what it was some racing game, that the guy had a really good pitch for. I don't think it's come out yet. But the tier to get the game was something stupid like 35 quid. I'm like, I'm not giving you 35 quid. I'll chuck like 5 quid your way and hopefully you can get to your goal.
Right.
So it very much depends on how much it is, because, you know, student, lack of money, all that jazz.
Indeed, yeah. Well, okay. Well, I suppose you've proven my theory wrong then, because if I had backed it for the game, I don't know, I would feel a little bit cheated with it coming to Games with Gold, because I think a lot of people, I mean, rightly or wrongly, myself probably included, is you use it as a kind of a pre-ordering service. And I mean, it's never guaranteed that the game, I suppose, which is why at the start of Kickstarter, I was backing a good number of things, but then after a while I was like, I'll just wait, I'm fine. I won't back it if I am just buying for the game. I'll just wait, and I'll just kind of wait till it actually comes out, and I'll get it then. Right, because using it as a pre-ordering service is, I don't know, it's a little bit iffy. It's like early access in the sense that, I mean, what you're playing now, I suppose, generally the final product will be a general, like, it'll keep the basic ideas of what you've played in early access. However, I don't know, it could it could change quite a bit, which I don't know. But that's the problem with early access and Steam, or early access and Kickstarter and all these things. I don't know. But anyway, massive Chalice. It's good. I enjoy it, and I think anyone who enjoyed XCOM will probably enjoy this as well.
I don't think people really have a choice, considering it is coming free. So if you do have an Xbox One, you don't have an excuse not to download it and try it. So if we find out that you haven't, you'll be in trouble from me and Colm. Yeah,
we're gonna hunt you down, just like Liam Neeson, and we're gonna. Can you recite that, Stubbsy? Can you recite the whole piece?
I wouldn't know it off by heart. It's like, is it? I'm gonna
give
find
it a go.
you.
Give it a go.
Is
yeah,
it?
Okay.
I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you, or something like that.
Yeah. And the conviction was just, I'm shaking in my boots, Stubbsy.
Yeah, I'm a very terrifying man.
Consider the Sage Rights Guild. Any hero who joins the Sage Rights will hasten the time required for any pursuit.